Hello, hello, and greetings from the sunny and not so humid climes from southern Thailand. Today is a beautiful day. It's a little bit of a breeze, it's not so hot, and the story of today is the Vietnamese Gold Digger. Yeah, I was approached by a viewer of mine. He is from England and he is currently dating a Vietnamese girl. And as it sounds to me that he is residing in England, he's living there and just traveling from time to Vietnam. He has met this girl in person. She is from a little town, I think, in southern Vietnam. According to him, everything is going great, but he watched one of my videos a few weeks ago and he got a little bit suspicious, and he contacted me and he wanted my advice. So I wrote down a little bit. Here I have my notes with me just to keep track and also to give you the full picture. So as I mentioned, he is an Englishman. He describes himself as having a stable job. He is financially secure, and things are going great, yeah, in his relationship. That's what he thinks. But on the other hand, he observed a few behaviors with this girl which makes him think. So he's saying that basically he's paying for everything for her, yeah, like food, meals, anything. He also shared with me that he bought gifts for the parents. He is also inviting her friends for meals and food at the restaurants and all that stuff. And he is saying that he basically puts in a lot of effort to provide to meet all her wants and needs. And I will just name now what he shared with me and then go through the list again and will give you my take on it and how I evaluate the situation. But this is already a red flag. If you want to make sure you want to provide for all the wants and needs, because this sounds a little bit it's a red flag. There's nothing wrong to provide for all the wants and needs with the woman, but I think at a later stage. And then he also said, and these are his words, he bent over backwards to make her feel secure and financially stable. So I think you can already see the theme of the story here. He is a guy who is basically throwing money at a girl because he also thinks that, or he knows that, especially also with Vietnamese women, that they value a guy who is financially stable and secure. So he thinks by spending money and showing that he can spend money, and also including not only her but also the family and the friends, and showering all these people with money, then he thinks this is his rationale, that he gets the approval and the validation of this woman. There's another problem. This girl apparently makes him feel that she is not good enough. Yeah, or sorry, that he everything what he is doing and spending, that it is never good enough for her. Okay, and she thinks that he is looking down on her. So she thinks, his own girlfriend thinks, that her boyfriend is looking down on her, and he feels what I just said, that everything what he's doing is never good enough. He also feels that he thinks that she is misunderstanding many things, and he don't like to spend money on her. So you can see already here I will go into this a little bit later, how the dynamics are in this communication there, in this so-called relationship. First of all, I want to say, I'm glad that you are not married to this girl or lady, you know. You are just dating her. I don't know how long you are dating her, but long story short, you need to get away from this lady, yeah? And why, I will tell you now. And by the way, this is now a case from Vietnam. This applies also to other Southeast Asian countries like the Philippines and Thailand, Cambodia, Indonesia. We all have, certainly I had these experiences with Philippine women, also with other women, with Thai women, you know. We know about these stories, you know, these gold digger stories, you know, these materialistic girls who just want to take advantage of you and blah, blah, blah. So this is not only a problem which is occurring in Vietnam. So again, I'm glad you're not married to this girl. Get rid of her immediately. She is a selfish person. Also, the question is, where have you met her? Have you met her online? Yeah, I assume you met her online, because otherwise how you got to know in the first place? An online dating site is not really a suitable place to find a so-called good and serious girl. She said that she is not feeling good enough. Sorry. You said that she makes you feel that nothing what you do is ever good enough for her. This is, in my opinion, a big, giant red flag, because what she is trying to do is she is shaming you. She wants to make you feel guilty. And honestly, I don't even know if she is really misunderstanding things. I don't think so. Women are very smart in playing these games with men. They're way smarter than men. So I don't think she is misunderstanding anything. In my opinion, she is playing out her agenda. She is playing her game. She plays victim, you know. This is another great strategy to make a man feel guilty and ashamed, you know. So 2-3 points here really point to what I assume, that she is playing a game. She's playing the money game. Now, you said you spent a lot of money on different things, like family gifts and paying for meals for friends and family. Now, from the distance, of course, I'm sitting here and listen to the story and can give my rational advice. And I mentioned this in my previous videos. It's a different scenario and a different situation when you are involved in the middle of the situation, or if you are stepping outside and looking at it from a faraway perspective, which I'm doing here. And of course, I was consciously thinking about my answer today here, right? But if you are involved with a woman, it doesn't matter what kind of woman, you are emotionally involved. And so more emotionally you are involved and invested in the whole thing, so less your ratio is working. So now it sounds so easy for me to say, but the really hard part is to apply it in the situation when you are together with this woman. So what I mean is, I can relate to that, you know. It sounds so easy to say, yeah, okay, use your common sense and just spend money for her food and some drinks, and give her some money for the taxi home and this and that, that's all okay. But what if she suddenly brings a couple of friends along? What are you going to do? Inexperienced guys would approve of this and invite also the friends and pay for them. Experienced guys, expats who live in Southeast Asia know that this is a scam actually. This girl is very smart and is just running her game on you. Yeah. Also, showering the family with family gifts, I think, is not necessary. I don't know in what kind of dating stage you are, but especially in the beginning, I find it not necessary, and I will explain why. Again, paying for, if you have a date, if you're dating someone, paying for the restaurants, paying for the meals, paying for the movie, paying for the taxi back home, for her is all good. Yeah, you should not spend more than maybe a few dozen dollars per month when you date this woman. I'm talking about the early dating phase, you know, like the first probably 1 or 2 months. I'm also guilty of this. Yeah, I'm talking out of my own experience here. I've done all these mistakes. But especially in the first 1, 2, 3 months, you should be very, very careful with showering any girl with money. The problem is when you spend too much money. I mean, there are certain dynamics at play. First of all, I want to explain to you what is happening with the woman. If you spend too much money on her, and then we have to also look, what is your motivation to actually spend that money on her? And actually I should explain that first, because we men, we want to be the problem solver. We want to fix problems. We want to find solutions. And we think, or most of us think, that in order to impress a woman, and we want to impress women, this is just normal, it's in our nature. Also the woman want to impress us, you know, but we also want to impress the woman. And you know, when a foreigner and an expat from Europe or the first world or from first world countries is traveling to Southeast Asia, he is aware of the economical dynamics and the social dynamics, the political dynamics. He knows very well, we know very well that the economic situation in Asia is not so great like in first world countries. So we know that, and that probably puts us into a kind of superior situation. I don't want to say that we think or feel superior over Asian people, but we have to be careful. This can play an unconscious role depending on your character structure and your personality. I'm pretty sure there are some men in Southeast Asia only for that reason, because they feel superior over these people and over these girls, because they have the money and now they can play out their power, and you know, they can use their money and arrange everything, and it works, you know, because money talks. I'm pretty sure some men really take advantage of this. So, and we want to impress women with money. That's what we think is going to work. And actually, you think it seems to be working, because of course the woman will be attracted to your wallet, you know. But in order to attract a woman in Southeast Asia, you don't need skill if you have a big fat wallet. Yeah, many men mistaken this. They think using their wallet equals applying skill in dating or meeting this woman. No. It's the easiest thing to go into a bar, pick up a bar girl and just use your wallet. You didn't need to use any of your skill. You just needed to use your wallet. That's the truth, right? So anyway, but we think we can impress women by showering her with money, and we know about the economic dynamics, so we think we are doing her a favor. And then our protection gene, you know, we want to protect the woman. We want to be like the white shining armor picking up the poor princess which is lying there on the side of the road, and all this is kind of stuff, you know. So this is probably the motivation why men so easily throw cash at the girls. And what happens is that when you do that, you actually condition the woman, if she is not already acting out her agenda anyway on you, then you start to condition this woman. With other words, you set the bar very high. Yeah? If you invite her on your first date to an expensive restaurant, expensive food, and maybe even afterwards go to the mall and buy her a handphone, like I did many years ago. I'm guilty of some of these mistakes, you know. Today I'm laughing about it, but I was that stupid, really. And I did all these things. So when you do that, then you set the bar very high. So after the first date, the girl already knows, okay, wow, this guy is really spending some money. And what's next? That's what she thinks, you know. She will certainly not go lower. So here's the thing. If you, let's say, invite her to a decent restaurant, you pay the bill, that's okay. Even I would not recommend to bring her on your first date to a restaurant. A coffee date will be fine, Starbucks or Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf or whatever. But let's say you invite her to a restaurant, you pay the bill, okay, that's fine, no problem with that. But on your next date, if you again, let's say, present a gift to her, let's say you give her a smartphone because she insinuated in your first date that in order to stay in touch with you, she would need a new smartphone because the smartphone is broken, blah, 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 all these stories. So let's say on the second date you provide her with a smartphone. Then you already created expectation in her mind. Yeah? And on the third time, again, if you shower her with money or some gifts, then she feels already entitled to it. So this is what happens in the mind of the woman. You don't want to do it. What you want to do is, like, if you date an Asian woman for the first time or the first few times, you want to remember this high school dating thing, you know. I'm from Germany, we don't have high schools, but the American guys and probably also the Australian guys or whatever, they can relate to that. But in Germany it's the same thing. When you are a teenager and you go to school when you're 16, 17, 18 years old, you know, you don't have much money, but you date girls. And what are you going to do on these dates? Yeah, you don't have much money, but you spend time with the woman, right? Money is not so important. At least I remember when we were teenagers, we were not really thinking too much about impressing the woman by money. So we have to go back to that stage, the high school dating mindset, you know, rather than showering the girls with money and throwing cash at them. It's more important that you guys spend time with each other together, right? So walk through the park, sit on a bench, watch the sunset, go into a movie theater, just walk, have a conversation, chat, get to know each other. These simple things. Have a coffee date at Starbucks or at any other coffee shop. Yeah, these simple things, in my opinion, they make sense and they are very important. Also, to not set the bar too high. If a woman really is interested in you and is into you, then she will continue to date you. Whatever you suggest, where you want to meet or whatever you want to do, she will follow because she is interested in you. Yeah. So, and believe me, the first few weeks will show whether the girl is a gold digger or not. Yeah. Because if she is a gold digger, then she has her agenda and she will follow that. And if she sees after the first 2, 3, 4 dates you're not going to spend a lot of money on her, then she will just stop contacting you. It might take maybe 2, 3 weeks, but this thing will resolve itself. It will that will be sorted. So what can you do? First of all, I mentioned this already, when you meet such girls and you have really doubts about it, about her behavior, then get away from her immediately. It's easier said than done, I know, if you're already emotionally involved, but the rational, objective thing to do is, the most common sense thing to do is to get away from this woman. These women are selfish, they don't care about you, they just care about themselves, they are just in the game for the purpose of what can they extract from you to get themselves ahead. Yeah. Women are very clever, women are very smart. especially Asian women, this is because of the dating dynamics. You know, they also know that you are coming from a first world country, and first world countries are being seen still today in Asian countries as the wealthy nations, even though this is not true anymore. And I can just suggest to anybody who has the opportunity to travel to the United States, or to travel to Australia, or to travel to Germany, if you can do it. I know many of you cannot do it, but if you would have the chance, do it and see for yourself what I'm talking about. The first world countries are deteriorating as we speak. The economies are being dismantled as we speak, but that's a different topic. So these countries are not so wealthy anymore, but in the minds of these Asian nations, these first world countries are still seen in a very prosperous light. Women therefore assume you are just rich and wealthy, and they are going to be attracted to your wealth, at least in their minds. You are a commodity. Many women just see these Western men as a commodity. I know that sounds very harsh, but that's the reality. So they will test you. They will, in their Asian way, in their feminine way, because Asian women are never direct, you know, they are women. They are speaking through the grapevine. They will insinuate certain things. They will test you. What is your reaction? She will say, for example, oh, I always wanted to go to this island. I've never been there. All my friends are been there already. And she will not directly ask you, can you take me to that island, or can we go to that island? So she will insinuate that. She will make up a little drama, a little story, waiting for your reaction. Eventually, if you say, oh, okay, I'm going to this island anyway next week, do you want to join me? Then she's got you on her hook. You know, this is how it works. This is how they play. So you have to be careful when women, during your very first dates, probably the first, second, or even third dates, already come up with these insinuations, these storytelling, story creating, or I don't know, bringing friends along to the dates, which is absolutely nonsense. You don't do that if you're interested in men. Or if she making up stories about she wants to travel there and there, or family members are sick, or she needs money for her school and this and that. You have to be very, very careful. There are certainly an agenda at play. So what we have to do and what you have to do, you have to develop your ability to discern properly. You have to develop your judgment. If you already have a high level of street smarts, then congratulations. This will definitely help you in these Asian countries and also in Vietnam, because you need a high level of street smarts or discernment and proper judgment to navigate through this dating jungle there. If you don't have this level of discernment, no worries, you will develop it. But you will make mistakes, you will fall into some traps. This all happens to us who ever dated or ever came to Asia and started dating. This is unavoidable, but this is how it goes. Like, you have to practice. You have to get into a certain situation, expose yourself, don't be shy. This is how it is, and with practice you get better. You learn from your mistakes. You will not be able to avoid all mistakes. This is not how life functions. This is not how life happens, and this also applies to dating. This applies to dating in Southeast Asia. This applies to dating Southeast Asian women. This applies to anything. This applies to dating any kind of woman in this world. And last but not least, I would say the right thing also to do, and which I did, is to consult with other expats, with other foreigners, and learn from their experience also. YouTube is also great in one way, because all these videos which are being posted also in regards to dating, there are a lot of useful comments in the comment sections, and I also watch other videos and I learn, and there are really, really great comments. These people don't, the people who are comment who are commenting in these videos, they don't have own YouTube channels, they don't produce their own videos, but there's great value sometimes also in these comments. So share and communicate and seek the advice from other people who are already dating in Southeast Asia. This English gentleman who contacted me did the right thing. He approached me because after watching my video he was suspicious. That was the right thing to do. And he asked me a few questions and I tried to answer as best as I could according to my knowledge. I'm still also learning, but I wanted to share this with you today. So this is what I think about this relationship, about this woman. She is a gold digger, definitely, in my opinion. The way she behaves, the way she plays victim, the way she accepts the money showering and accepting that he is throwing cash at her and the family and friends, and the way she insinuates and engineers shame inside this man is for me clearly a sign, because what I hear here is the same what also happened to me in the past. So with that being said, I'm checking out for today. I'm looking forward to your comments as usually, and then I'm gonna see you next week with a new video. Take care, bye bye.